Joining us are comedian Aatif Nawaz and Rabbi Charlie Baginski, CEO of Liberal Judaism. Welcome to you both.
Hi, guys.
Good morning to you. It's good to see you. So, Aatif, you've got a story about the royal family, haven't you?
Well, sort of, yeah. The Prince, right, Prince William, was out and about on the streets selling the big issue, which is really kind of nice. It was raising awareness about a group of people doing not very well in society. And he was trying to supposedly sort of do it incognito. I just noticed he had a giant life preserver on, very kind of royal. Like, if I was a royal and I was selling the big issue, that's what I'd wear, right? It's that kind of outfit. But you know, I thought it was nice. You know, the royal family can be quite divisive. Some people have varying views on them, but I thought that was a nice thing to do.
And do you think it's good that he's continuing the legacy of his mother?
Absolutely. You know, one of the reasons why so many people gravitated towards Princess Diana was like her philanthropy, and just it felt so genuine, her connection to people. So it's nice to see a little bit of that in her son.
Charlie, is this a PR exercise? Now, he didn't have like the world's media there, but he would know people would have had phones and would have been taking pictures, which they did.
Sure. I mean, I'm a little bit more cynical about how incognito this was. And I think if we're going to compare it to Princess Diana, then it will be the follow-up. What happens next? Does he follow through in continuing to raise awareness of the issues surrounding homelessness? Or is this just in one moment a nice selfie for end of Jubilee weekend?
Yeah, I mean, they do. I mean, he does a lot of work with Centrepoint. So, to be fair, they're really involved in doing lots of charity work, and in particular in this area, homelessness.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, again, we go back to Princess Diana. It was the causes that she was passionate about. And, you know, you hear that. It does sound like a PR phrase. People say, I'm very passionate about so-and-so, and, oh, it's close to my heart, this cause. And you don't often believe them. I think time will tell how much people will believe the prince about this. But, you know, my glass is half full kind of guy. I think he means well. I think he should be applauded for this.
But at least we're talking about the charity.
Yeah,
absolutely. I think the raising awareness is absolutely essential, and he definitely has done this.
And Jesus washed poor people's feet, didn't he? So hopefully bosses and leaders can, you know, maybe take a leaf out of his book.
No, absolutely.
Well, let's move on to you, Charlie. You saw a survey that was released this week and it caught your attention.
It really did. This was a survey that suggested that the majority of Muslims in this country are feeling happier due to their workplace opportunities, due to having positive role models and general acceptance by society.
Aatif, you're smiling. Does this reflect your experiences?
You're welcome, guys. I'm trying to be a good role model for you, all of you. I'm doing my best. You're very welcome.
You were missing from the article.
I know, right? I'm going to have words with the writer. No, I think partially it rings true. I mean, anecdotally, I can't say that it always rings true. I think people always have different struggles, and it's very hard to, you know, take in a whole... It's one of the most diverse communities in the world. I mean, there's like 3 million odd Muslims in the UK, and they come from various different countries, different backgrounds, so it's hard to kind of summarize them all. But I like to think that, you know, slowly certain bits of representation, certain bits of understanding, and that kind of destigmatization. You know, for a long time, Muslims were being othered in England, and that was horrible, you know, just... it wasn't a nice time, and there was a lot of Islamophobia, and I'm sure I know there's still Islamophobia out there, but...
The article mentions that actually still a huge percentage of Muslims are feeling discriminated against in the workplace.
I mean, role models are key in that, aren't they? And we've got Mo Farah coming up on the show. It's people like that who are achieving great things. And he's got a smile on his face all the time. He's just a great character, isn't he? I mean, he shouldn't need people like that, but they do make a massive difference, don't they?
It's like being Muslim is the second... You don't think about that with Mo Farah. You think, oh, he's such a great guy, such an inspirational person, Olympian, runner. You think all these things. And you think, oh, he's also Muslim. That's nice. Like, you know, it's a second thing. It's not like he's not defined by being Muslim to the world. He's not defined by his achievements, but he's such a accomplished person. Being Muslim is the second thing you think about it. But subconsciously, it does make people think that Muslims aren't this scary group of people who live kind of far away and I don't know what they're thinking, what they're doing. Muslims are just like people like Mo Farah, just like that guy that you met over there, this guy that you work with, this person. You know, they're everywhere and they're just normal.
So it works for both sides, doesn't it? Acceptance and feeling part of something.
Yeah, I mean, on the subject of role models, Marvel have just launched a reimagined version of their superhero, Miss Marvel, and I'm sure you know exactly who that is, but if you aren't familiar with that, Miss Marvel was originally a blonde, superpowered military hero. She's now a Muslim Pakistani US teen called Kamala Khan. It's on Disney Plus. It was on Disney Plus on Wednesday night, actually. Here's a clip of it.
It's not a thing you are, Kamala.
What does it feel like?
Like an idea come to life.
Oh, I wish I had a hand like that. I mean, the things you could do. But how significant is
It's
it?
massive.
It's a girl. It's a Pakistani
It's
girl.
not just about faith, is it?
No, it's definitely not just about faith. I think changing our perceptions of what is superheroes, but also as women to change perceptions of our role in society. I'm not what people usually expect when they hear that a rabbi is coming on to their show, and it makes a huge difference for people to be able to see people represented in such different ways. I think it's a really powerful message for our diverse cultures out there, but also for our young women.
You're nodding your head there, you're like...
Absolutely. I mean, especially Pakistani women. There's some really strong Pakistani women out there, some powerful role models. I mean, my mind immediately goes to, like, Bisma Maroof, the captain of the Pakistan women's cricket team, who went on maternity leave, had a baby, and 6 months later, she's back playing cricket at the World Cup with her baby, pitch side with her mother.
Superhero.
She's a superhero, a real-life superhero, right? But there's so many inspirational women in Pakistan that the diaspora can look to. It's nice to have a fictional one that can serve as a gateway to that. You know, kids sometimes... When I was a kid, my biggest inspiration was Batman. Not because he was a detective, because it is a cool character. When you're a child, what do you know? But if this is the gateway to some young woman feeling empowered in Pakistan, a society that historically hasn't always been empowering to its women, this is a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
It is a beautiful thing. I've got a question for you, Sean. It's a bit random after the back of that. What if I told you there was a pill to improve your love life?
I don't know where you're going with this, but I thought there was already that blue pill that did that.
I wasn't speaking about that. If you're telling us more
the
about your
headache pill,
life,
the blue headache pill.
you know, that's your business. But let me
Walked into
explain the
this.
story. Yeah, exactly. So love drugs are on the horizon, according to Dr. Anna Machin from Oxford Uni, who says that we now know enough about brain chemistry to create drugs to help people not only find love, but stay in love during a rough patch. And the drugs could release oxytocin, which helps with the initial feeling of love, and serotonin, which is thought to increase empathy. So in theory, there'll be fewer arguments. And this has been developed for use for couples who are in therapy. So it's a good purpose, trying to help couples stay together longer and work things through. What do you think about that?
He's still stuck on blue pill.
Yeah, so it's not Viagra, but it does something similar.
but
it does your passions and
It's
your
about
loves.
helping people to get together. It's more about love rather than
Okay.
what you're thinking about.
I tell you-
It is a source of comedy, though, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's got to be a source. You know, I keep thinking of Midsummer Night's Dream, that you might walk into the wrong person and they're the first person you see.
Yeah, if you're cross-gartered, you're doing it completely wrong. But, see, I've read that too. I don't like this at all. What happened to good old-fashioned romance and, like,
I'm
you know,
with you.
you're working hard, like, relationship, kids. You got to work hard at a relationship, okay? It's never. It starts beautifully, and you'll have, you know, once like that initial passion dies down, that's when you really see what you're made of. Like, how do I make this work? How do I understand my partner? How do I make them feel fulfilled? How do I get them to fulfill me? You work together as a team. Don't take these shortcuts and these pills unless it's really. I don't know. Maybe some people. I mean, I'm not one to talk here. I probably should have taken one years ago. But if it helps you, sure. But for me, I like that old-fashioned, conventional romance.
And what happens when it wears off? Then do you have to sort of have two pills next time? You become a bit of a junkie for these love drugs just to stay in love. You'd need it, wouldn't you? You become reliant
It
on
almost like cheapens relationships, a bit what you were saying, isn't it?
I think we're more complex as well than being able to sort out our emotions with one pill. But I think if it helps people to stay focused on their relationships, then maybe it's a good thing, but part of a larger package.
Yeah, absolutely.
I want to talk about plants, which sort of love to plant, so it's just sort of a damp squibbard, isn't it? But it's actually a really good story. Research out this week from the Horticultural Society and Reading University reveals that while lush, healthy houseplants can improve our well-being, having sickly plants actually spikes our stress levels. And there are actually some plants that are guaranteed to live through the most turbulent neglect, because I'm not very good at watering my plants. Now, this is a spider plant, and this is a devil's ivy, this one. And basically, you don't have to water them much. They will live, and they will look lovely and green. And I just bring these out and being close to these, I sort of feel happy. And I'm thinking about my hydrangeas in my garden. When I don't water them, the leaves just wilt.
Oh,
and it makes me feel
It makes me
depressed.
feel bad.
Yeah.
I'm like, if the plants aren't looking healthy in my house and stuff, I'm like, what is the point? This is all I have to do is water them, and to make you feel good. And then if they're you're just pulling out those dead leaves, it is sad.
And I mean, if you hold them like this, it's
Look,
like
you're
going to the
feeling
gym
sad
as well.
hearing
Yeah.
this.
This is devastating. No, this is really nice. Like, it's a living thing, right? So you treat it like you would a pet, right? You wouldn't let your pet wilt away. When you go on holiday, you arrange for somebody to feed them, but that's a source of immense anxiety. Like, well, did the person come and feed my plants?
Yeah.
Because they said they did, but I don't believe them. I know this person.
I mean, the downside of something like this is, though, isn't the whole thing about plants is that if it's hard to, you nurture it, you water it, you grow it for so long, and it's hard. It's a bit like the love conversation, isn't it? You work at it, then when it flowers, that feeling you get, if it's easy, I mean, what's the point?
But that's why some people don't like fake, plants and stuff, because they say you can't put that love in it and time so that you get the benefit at the end.
You reap what you sow. You've got to put something in. Hey, it's not just thrown together.
The pro.
I just thought that.
I love that.
Seriously.
Love it.
That's why it's here. That's why it's here.
That's all we've got time for, I'm afraid. So great to talk to you both.
Thank you
Thanks
so
for having
much.
us.
Thank you.